Hey, happy Friday to you. It's July 30th, 2020, and we're bringing you the latest installment of our Tampa Bay real estate market through COVID. So I'm Sean Reddy. Obviously, he's Everett Reddy. We're both of the Reddy group of Keller Williams. And if you've watched these before, you know that every single week we bring you what is happening in the market on a week-to-week and even day-to-day basis as we watch for trends to point towards what's going to happen in our market in the future in terms of home values. Right now, he's extremely excited because we have continued to see the most extreme seller's market, at least statistically, rage on for weeks and weeks and weeks now. There are signs that could be coming to an end soon. We'll get into that here in a minute. So here are the big points. Number one, new listings last week. Last week, we saw less than 1,000 listings for the first time since early June. That is down 939 listings last week. That is down 7% from the previous week, yet still up 35% from the low point in COVID. So new listings hitting the market is still extremely, extremely low, especially when you compare it to the demand that is out there. We'll talk about that. New contracts. How many homes went under contract this week? 1,346. That's down 11% from the week before. So the gap between new listings and new contracts may be starting to close a little bit. When we see those two lines intersect on a graph, that's when we know we're heading towards buyer market territory, which will come inevitably. Couple other points here real quickly. We saw price reductions stay the same week over week. We saw less homes go back to the market by way of contract fallout, down 4% from the previous week. This one's kind of an eye raiser though. 284 homes were taken off the market. That is a 28% increase from last week. Last week was actually the low week in COVID, where only 202 homes. Was that right? 232 homes. 222 homes came off the market last week. 284 homes came off the market this week. Again, it seems negligible, yet it is a 28% increase. Now, that tells me we got 284 people who are on the market as a seller, right? In the most extreme seller's market statistically of all time, saying, no, it's not working. I'm not getting my home sold. So we're seeing lofty aspirations by the seller. Just because it is an extreme seller's market does not mean you can price above market value and still, successfully sell. You still have to be priced correctly in order to be a highly successful seller in this market, in any market. So those are the high points of this week. Again, I'm seeing this trend where, well, let me back up a second. The gap between new listings and new contracts has been wide for several weeks, and that's what's fueling our raging seller's market. Yet the gap is narrowing. When new listings is down 7%, yet new contracts is down 11%, we may be heading towards an intersection of those two lines eventually soon, and that's going to be what ends our extreme seller's market. So far to date, since COVID locked the country down in mid-March, there have been 19,631 new listings to 26,328 new contracts. So we have a deficit right now compared to mid-March, where there is 5,287 less homes on the market today than there was when COVID started. Almost 5,300 less homes on the market, which, by the way, we went into COVID and lockdown with a very low inventory market. So it continues to rage on. We are going to talk in future episodes about what happens in our next market. So after this extreme seller's market comes to an end, we'll be faced with a transitioning market, balancing out, and then ultimately to a buyer's market. It's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner than we probably want to think, with all the economic headwinds and 7.8 million loans in forbearance. Some of these forbearance agreements coming to an end. The general economic headwinds, and oh, by the way, also let's throw an election on top of that. We could be in for a rapid shift in the market conditions here sooner than later. Anyways, if you have any questions specifically around your neighborhood, your home's value, what it might look like to sell right now during this extreme seller's market, let us know. We're here to help. We're here to be a resource. Even if you're not moving, we're here to be a resource. We love your referrals too, by the way, and whatever we can do to help you. I'm going to sign off while this guy's getting starving, and we'll see you soon.